Hello there, I am Richie Stormtrooper. Welcome to the channel. In this video we continue with our Stormtrooper build and with the second part of the shins assembly. Before we do get started, if you find this video useful or interesting, please do like and subscribe. It is one video in a full playlist of tutorials for building Stormtrooper armour. You can click on this link here to call up the playlist as it is today. Depending on when you're tuning in, this may or may not be complete. In the video prior to this in the playlist, in part 1 of the shins assembly, we trimmed and assembled all the parts, fitted our cover strip at the front. If you want to see a video about cover strips and on the use of plastic weld to assemble parts, go back and check the videos out in the full playlist. What we are missing on the backs of these shins then are of course our cover strips. We have these cut to length already, and also some kind of closing mechanism. If you have bought an RS Prop Masters kit including a strapping kit, then your kit will include a small bag marked, a plastic bag marked number 2 with these elastic straps in there. There are 6 in total. They look like this and they have little bra clasps at the end. I'd say around 12-13 millimeters in length, and the hook part itself is around 3 millimeters in width. I'll hold those up to the camera to see if you can get a better look there. These are going to be glued into one side of our shin armour on the inside to hook into holes which we're going to be drilling now, which they will then hold that closed when we're wearing them. For those of you with an RS Prop Masters kit, the locations for the holes, it's going to be very easy for you to find those, because I've found here on the parts the impression marks from the original holes are still marked on there. In each case, here I have already marked on the points where I'm going to be drilling. As I say, with the RS Prop Masters kit, the height, the distance from the bottom or from the top, you can just match it to the originals. I'm using a 5mm drill bit. That's because these hooks are 3 millimeters in width, as I already mentioned. 4 millimeters is large enough to get them through a 4mm hole, but I find it very, very fiddly, and it's very difficult when you're getting dressing yourself, putting on these parts to get that through the hooks. And looking at the originals, I have a picture here of the RS Prop Masters suit. 5 millimeters looks about right. I've not had that measured, but 5 millimeters works fine. As you can also see on the original suit there are 2 sets of holes. These have obviously been reset. Maybe the elastic wore out at some point. There was some refitting going on, so they had to make them tighter. I am going to stick with my formula of 15 millimeters away from the edge. These holes, of course, only feature on one side. This is going to be the assembly for my left leg. So the left-hand side is going to overlap over the right side. In each case, it is the outer side which overlaps over the inner side, and it's the inner side that wants the holes. So to recap, you want your set of holes, one set of holes on the inside part, and your outer part is going to overlap. As with any fabric parts, any parts of the strapping kit that needs to be glued inside the armour to the ABS plastic, I'm going to be using E6000 glue for this, and my strong magnets, my rare earth magnets, to clamp that in place whilst we are waiting for it to dry. An important thing to bear in mind when it comes to gluing these, I like to just apply the glue to my elastic strip and not to the plastic itself. And we also want to glue to maybe 1 centimeter short of where the hook is actually sewn in, or possibly even a little bit more. If we glue the whole surface right up to the hook, there is no leeway for the hook. There's no stretch. There's no leeway for this to stretch, open and close. It's very, very difficult to open and close the shin parts when we're wearing them. So I apply glue to maybe a centimetre shy of the hook itself. This edge wants to match up with the edge of the overlapping part. You don't want it to peek out at all. You can even move it back a little, I find. So on the inside it's going to look something like that. So something along those lines. I don't know if you can see that okay there. The hook stops just short of the edge, and with the glue not going all the way, we have some slack there, which is going to help us stretch that out, give us some kind of suspension, some leeway to be able to hook those up into parts. And when they're done, obviously they're going to hook up like so into those holes. On my left shin piece or calf piece, I now have all my elastic straps in there curing, the glue on there curing. Now, with this being the same side that it finally takes the cover strip, it may well even be a good idea to do the cover strip first. I'll leave that up to you. I'll do so on the other side. It's not really going to get in the way. It's our usual procedure of welding. Go back and check the playlist for the video dedicated to using plastic weld. It's going to be the same procedure as ever, with the one difference, of course, that these are going to remain parts that can open and close. To put them on, we're just going to be welding the strip onto one side. It just gives the impression of a permanent closure when these are worn. So this is my right assembly, right shin assembly. I'm going to put on the cover strip first before I put the straps in there, and all it is lining up one half of the strip. I'm going to clamp one half of the strip to the overlapping side, the outer side of the shin. I'm clamping that all the way along. As you can appreciate, it is one half of the strip glued to the outer part and one half of the strip left for the overlap, floating free. Same procedure as always, clamps and magnets and plastic weld, and then in this case my straps still have to go in there. On the other part I have my straps in there already, and I'm just going to have to apply the cover strip, weld on the cover strip when the straps are dry. When fully assembled, this is what our shins should look like. These are my fully assembled Trooper Master parts. You can see the closure on the back there, cover strip going halfway through, hooks on the inside. They hook up into those holes and give us a nice elastic closure, so we can run about and play at pew pew, play at being stormtroopers. One small detail obviously that's missing is this little sniper plate on the left hand side. We have the part obviously in our kit, our RS Prop Masters kit. I'm not going to put that on right now. There are various little bits and bobs that we'll probably do a final video on adding the final touches. There's little bits and bobs, smaller parts, maybe the abdomen plate, etc, etc. But it's just basically welding that on. It can be tricky. We'll look at it in another video. But for the time being, that completes our shin assembly. Thank you very much for watching. If you found the video interesting or useful, please do like and subscribe. As I have mentioned already, there is a full playlist of tutorials for building a Stormtrooper costume and for building the Stormtrooper armour in the works. Depending on when you're watching this video, it may or may not be complete. These videos that are on YouTube are slightly shorter, condensed versions of the full videos. I'm trying to get these down to a user-friendly 10 minutes or so, but in some cases the full video will go up to 15 to 20 minutes depending on how much detail has to be included. They won't be on YouTube When I finish the complete course, I'm going to look at making those available somewhere. It may be on Patreon or it may be on Teachable, something like that. So please do like and subscribe to keep up to date. I will let you know as soon as I put that together. But for the time being, that's all from me. Thanks again for watching. Catch you in the next tutorial.